The world fractured for Amelia the day she found the texts. Mark, her fiancé, her anchor, her future, had built their life together on a foundation of lies. The glowing screen illuminated not sweet nothings, but cruel betrayals. A secret life with another woman blossoming just beneath the surface of their perfect existence. The discovery didn't bring tears. It brought a cold, numbing void, quickly filled by a searing, silent rage that began to fester deep within her. It wasn't just heartbreak, it was a violation, an invasion of her very soul. The woman she thought she was, the future she had so carefully planned, dissolved into a bitter illusion, leaving behind only the cold, hard reality of his deceit. The love that had once been her sanctuary now felt like a prison built of carefully constructed falsehoods, and the anger that replaced it was a patient, calculating predator waiting for the perfect moment to strike. Amelia became a phantom in her own home. She moved silently, observed everything, her eyes hollow, her presence almost spectral. Mark, oblivious in his shallow contentment, barely noticed the change, attributing her quietness to stress from wedding planning. But Amelia wasn't quiet, she was listening, she was watching. Every late-night call he took on the balcony, every hushed whisper he thought was concealed, every subtle shift in his daily routine was meticulously catalogued in her mind. Her phone, once a source of shared laughter and affectionate messages, now became her weapon, a silent recorder capturing the damning fragments of his deceit. The more evidence she gathered, the more the cold rage solidified into something sharper, something predatory and meticulously deliberate. Her grief had been a fleeting storm, but this new, icy resolve was a glacier, slowly, unstoppably carving a path of destruction. One evening, Mark came home to a house steeped in an unsettling silence, a stark contrast to the usual warmth that greeted him. Amelia was nowhere to be seen, but a faint, almost imperceptible sound emanated from the closed study door. Curiosity, or perhaps a flicker of nascent unease, tugged at him. He pushed the door open to find the room bathed in the flickering glow of a single candle. On the polished surface of the mahogany desk, arranged with chilling precision, were photos of him and Amelia on their last vacation, of him and the other woman at a cozy cafe, of the three of them at different places, different times, overlapping in a sickening tapestry of his lies. Beneath them lay his own phone, unlocked, and displaying a text message Amelia had drafted, but never sent to his lover. A single, haunting word that dripped with accusation. "I know." The air in the room grew heavy, thick with unspoken truths, and the solitary candle flame danced like a nervous heartbeat. Mark felt a profound chill that had nothing to do with the cool evening air seeping through the window pane. The psychological torment began subtly, a series of small, unsettling events designed to fray the edges of his sanity. Mark would wake in the dead of night, jolted from sleep by the sound of his own name being whispered from the darkest shadows of their bedroom, only to turn and find Amelia sleeping soundly beside him, her breathing even and undisturbed. Objects he relied on would inexplicably move. His car keys appearing in the freezer, nestled beside a tray of ice cubes, his wallet hidden inside a book he hadn't touched in years. At first, he dismissed it all as stress, as his overworked mind playing cruel tricks, but a growing dread, a persistent and gnawing fear began to erode his composure. One morning, he found a single red rose, its velvety petals torn and bruised, placed carefully on his pillow. A chilling, macabre echo of the first rose he'd ever given Amelia on their first anniversary. Each incident was small, isolated and deniable, but together they painted a terrifying portrait of a fractured reality. A world where the familiar and comforting had turned sinister and threatening. The culmination of her plan arrived on the night of their supposed anniversary dinner, a date Mark had conveniently forgotten amidst his web of deceit. He returned home late, expecting an empty, dark house, but instead found Amelia waiting, an apparition of their past, dressed in the elegant gown she had worn for their very first date. The dining table was set immaculately for two, flickering candles casting long, dancing shadows across the room, and a sumptuous meal lay untouched, growing cold. Her face was serene, almost vacant, and her eyes, which once held a universe of warmth and love for him, now held an unnerving, bottomless emptiness. She spoke in a voice devoid of all emotion, a chilling monotone, recounting their entire relationship, every promise made, every shared dream, every calculated lie, as if reading from a macabre, well-rehearsed script. Then, without a word, she played the recordings, snippets of his clandestine calls, his hushed confessions to his lover, raw, undeniable proof of his betrayal that filled the silent room. Mark's smug facade crumbled under the weight of the evidence, his arrogance melting away to reveal a raw, primal terror. He made a desperate lunge for the door, but it was locked. He scrambled to the windows, but they were sealed shut. The house he once considered his castle had become a cage, and Amelia, his once adoring fiancée, was now his silent, chilling warden. As the final, damning recording faded into an oppressive silence, she produced a small, intricately carved box he vaguely recognized. It was the box he had given her years ago, meant to hold tokens and memories of their love. With deliberate, agonizing slowness, she opened it, revealing not cherished mementos, but a lock of blonde hair, not hers, a dried, crushed petal from the rose on his pillow, and a single rusted wedding band, symbols of their dead, corrupted love. She then calmly, and with a chillingly serene smile playing on her lips, poured a dark, viscous liquid from a delicate crystal decanter into his wine glass. "A toast," she whispered, her voice like the finest silk draped over shattered glass, "to true endings." The fear in Mark's eyes turned to absolute despair as the faint, unmistakable scent of bitter almonds filled the air. Amelia watched, her meticulously planned vengeance a cold, satisfying balm on her wounded soul, as the final curtain fell on their twisted, tragic love story.